love. We made love.
Who you made love with?
Diddy, Bow Wow, Busta Rhymes.
You just told me you see Busta in the airport too. That motherfucker tried to act like he didn't know you. You smashed Drake?
No, I never smashed.
Oh, you made love to Drake.
And Katt Williams.
Katt Williams has apparently been acting shady right under our noses for quite some time. Despite always presenting himself as a champion of truth, someone whose job is to expose every shady part of the industry, it seems he hasn't been doing that. According to Orlando Brown, not only has Katt been lying to us this entire time, but he was also allegedly involved in some of the shady stuff he vowed to expose, like Diddy's infamous parties. Orlando claims he allegedly has evidence of Katt at Diddy's parties and will leak it in an upcoming documentary to expose some of the shadiest figures in Hollywood. This drama is giving us all the tea. I mean, you gave me the tea, right? I love it. Katt Williams said things were going to be crazy in 2024 and that many secrets would be exposed. But I don't think even he could have predicted how messy things were going to get. He certainly didn't predict being dragged into Diddy's mess. Orlando claims that Katt isn't as innocent as he pretends to be. Remember when Katt Williams went on Club Shay and claimed that Diddy lied and tried to pay him $50 million for a one-night stand? But he turned it down. Well, Orlando is alleging that Katt was one of the men who helped Diddy SI him, alongside other names like Drake, Terrence Howard, and Usher. Orlando seems to be going after Katt specifically because he thinks Katt is a hypocrite. Katt calls out other celebs and accuses them of being on the DL or engaging in weird, creepy sacrifices or being in the Illuminati. But allegedly, Katt was doing his own weird stuff behind the scenes while pretending to be innocent. Orlando pointed out how weird it was that Katt didn't speak much about Diddy during his Club Shay interview, even though Diddy had already been exposed by 4 different women in some pretty messed up circumstances. Orlando alleges that Katt didn't talk much about the situation because he was allegedly involved with Diddy in a wild freak-off session, if you catch my drift. Orlando Brown has now joined the crowd airing their grievances against Diddy, involving Katt in the mess as well. Orlando's words about Diddy aren't exactly flattering, and even though we've heard similar tales before, it still packs a punch when someone speaks out about their negative experiences with him. But before we dive into Orlando's take on Diddy, can we take a moment to talk about Sloan Bella, the psychic? She totally predicted Diddy's downfall before Cassie even filed her lawsuit. It's pretty wild how she saw it coming, right down to the timing, suggesting he'd face scrutiny around the anniversary of Kim Porter's passing. Sloan Bella also claimed that Diddy would get exposed for ritualistic SA of young men in the industry. She's not talking about gay behavior. She's talking about ritualistic sexual deviancy used to harness the energy of a human being. It's wild how Sloan Bella's predictions keep hitting the mark. And now it looks like the part about Diddy allegedly causing harm to young men is unfolding too. Lil Rod filed his lawsuit back in February, alleging that Diddy victimized him. Orlando Brown is stepping up as one of the brave few to claim that Diddy might have caused them harm. It's no wonder so few have spoken out. Diddy's standing as a powerful figure in the industry makes him someone most people are hesitant to challenge. Not to mention the stigma male survivors of such experiences often endure. Orlando seems to be shedding that shame and speaking up about what he alleges Diddy did to him when he was younger, including allegedly introducing him to drugs back in the late 90s and early 2000s. Orlando was on the rise to stardom. His breakthrough role was as Eddie Thomas on That's So Raven. At the time, he was a big deal with a bright future ahead. Sadly, things took a turn for the worse after the show wrapped up. We were really rooting for Orlando to break out beyond Disney and make a name for himself in the broader entertainment world. Sadly, it felt like his career hit a snag after That's So Raven. Even when he tried to switch gears and pursue a rap career, it just didn't gain traction, and things sort of fizzled out for him. Then came the troubles. Instead of grabbing headlines for his work, Orlando found himself constantly making news for legal issues. It all kicked off back in 2007, not long after That's So Raven wrapped up with a drug possession arrest in Houston, Texas. And that was just the tip of the iceberg for his legal woes.
We made love.
Who you made love with?
Diddy, Bow Wow, Busta Rhymes.
You just told me you see Busta in the airport too. That motherfucker tried to act like he didn't know you. You smashed Drake?
No, I never smashed.
Oh, you made love to Drake.
And Katt Williams.
Bro, you smashing a lot of people.
What's that nigga name? Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard. Usher. Usher's a gusher. And
why you not naming no?
I'm telling you, bro. It's my dad's friends. My dad sick his baddest friends on me.
Who's your dad?
Lucifer. Thought you knew.
I did.
Okay.
You're Jesus.
Yeah. So my dad sick like every bad one on me, and I was like, whatever, whatever. But the babies matter now, and I'm like, my kids, cause y'all.
That was seriously wild.
She also said, Katt Williams say he don't have no drug addiction, and I believe him. This lighter leash at the Emmys makes me question my beliefs. To be fair, Tiffany was the wrong person to call someone out for using because she has been arrested multiple times for DUI, and she often gets drunk and acts out in public. Late last year, she was led away in handcuffs. After she got drunk and fell asleep at the wheel of her car in the middle of the road, she was arrested by the police. But even with that, she made some solid points. In 2011, he got nabbed for a DUI, adding to the complications. From there, it felt like Orlando couldn't catch a break. It was like a downward spiral, with each incident leading to more trouble. He struggled to steer clear of legal woes, and eventually, the courts had seen enough. In a firm move, a judge sentenced him to 6 months behind bars. That didn't make a difference because, in 2014, an audio leaked of Orlando threatening to harm an unknown woman and her kids. His representatives were quick to dismiss the allegations, stating that the man in the audio wasn't him. However, he later came clean, admitting he was indeed the person in the video. He claimed the woman was a stalker, and he was only threatening her in self-defense to get her to leave him alone. He was subsequently arrested for making death threats, but no charges were pressed due to insufficient evidence for prosecution. It became increasingly apparent to onlookers that Orlando was grappling with substance abuse. Opinions were split on the issue.
Down to the timing, suggesting he'd face scrutiny around the anniversary of Kim Porter's passing.
So her death date was November 15th of 2018, but I'm being shown November of 2023. I don't think we're done with this. I feel she's shaking her head yes. Before she stare at me, then she wait, and now she's shaking her head yes. I am being shown that things are being prepared. She is showing me a trumpet. People are standing straight.
Some felt sympathy, seeing him as a casualty of the cutthroat entertainment industry from a tender age. Others perceived him as a pampered former child star who had succumbed to the trappings of fame and wealth. Despite earnest efforts to turn his life around, Orlando found it challenging to break free from the grip of addiction. While he managed to snag a few gigs, they never quite reached the heights of success he experienced during his Disney days. His legal woes only deepened with time. In 2016, things took a darker turn when he made headlines for a highly publicized altercation with his then-girlfriend, leading to his arrest on charges of DV and drug possession. It was another blow that landed him back behind bars. By this point, it was clear that Orlando was wrestling with some intense inner demons, prompting his friends and family to step in and urge him to seek help through rehab. Initially, he appeared open to their support and the possibility of getting clean. However, his resolve didn't hold for long. He opted out of the program after just a week. Since it wasn't a court-ordered stint in rehab, there wasn't much anyone could do to compel him to stay. As an adult, the decision ultimately rested with him, and unfortunately, he chose to walk away. As time went on, Orlando's public behavior grew increasingly erratic, hinting that his struggles ran deeper than just substance abuse. Things took a bizarre turn when he made a memorable appearance on Dr. Phil, where he made some outlandish claims, like asserting that he was Michael Jackson's son. But he didn't stop there. He spun a web of fantastical stories about being married with 4 children, yet he couldn't recall their names. He also, "My father was Michael Jackson. How many children do you have?" Quite a bit, but 4 that I know of." "Yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing them." "So, how old are your children?" "My kids? There's 2. One is 5 and one is, what is actually 11, and the oldest is like 16 to 18. Okay, 16 or 18. It's truly heartbreaking to witness someone's downward spiral, especially when they once illuminated our screens on one of Disney's most cherished shows. Orlando's descent serves as a stark reminder of the lurking dangers within the entertainment industry, particularly for young stars. Now, Orlando is bravely opening up about his own journey, and it's truly heart-wrenching.